Twitter, the place where everyone one gets offended, has welcomed the Prince of the Saiyan into its global trends list thanks to a new chapter of Dragon Ball Super, and fans are plenty happy about that. For those who do not know, the most recent chapter of Dragon Ball Super was released, and it was a big one to take in. Chapter 61. Checked in on Vegeta after the fighter cameo back to Earth to fight Moro. With Goku recovering from his loss, the Z fighters were stunned as they watched Vegeta make headway against Moro in battle. The only thing that has not changed is his inability to grab a win over Goku. Yes, that's right, the orange guy stepped in again. Despite learning his powerful move, Moro was one step ahead, and he managed to unlock a new form before tossing Vegeta aside. It seems like forced spirit fission could still take Moro down, but the solo win Dragon Ball Super fans were hoping for is not going to happen. The most they can hope for is a joint win. Coming back to the video, in this video we will talk about times when Vegeta got his moment stolen. Number 1, his failed attack on Frieza. Vegeta has had a lot of failures in his life, but his biggest one was when he went up against Frieza. While Vegeta tried his damnedest, nothing he did even phased Frieza. His most vigorous attack was bounced right back at him, and it left Vegeta paralyzed with fear. Despite his dramatic increase in power, and all his talk about defeating Frieza, Vegeta was no match for Frieza. It seems that he is not a Super Saiyan after all. Gohan, Krillin, and Piccolo helplessly look on in horror as Frieza incapacitates Vegeta and tortures him. Luckily, Goku has finally recovered. He breaks out of the healing chamber, and flies to the battlefield. Such regret. Vegeta, pride of the Saiyans, dies, the end of Vegeta. His plan to defeat Frieza and avenging the Saiyans, he was unable to get the vengeance he desired. Of all the moments Vegeta had stolen from him, this one hurt the most. Number 2, having his tail cuts. When Vegeta transforms in Great Ape Uzaru, he begins pummeling Goku. At that point Goku is completely incapacitated. Gohan and Krillin sense that Goku is in danger and fly there. Krillin tries to cut Vegeta's tail with Kenzan, Destructo Disc, but Vegeta senses it and moves in time. Enter Yajirobe, who is already there. He seizes the opportunity and manages to cut Vegeta's tail. Just when Vegeta believes victory is at hand, Yajirobe comes in and messes things up for the Prince of all Saiyans by chopping off his tail. Number 3, getting beaten by Junior Cell. What's worse could it be rather than getting defeated by Cell? Well, how about being brutally punched around by one of his offsprings, the Cell JRs? In an attempt to make Gohan get mad, Cell unleashes the Cell JRs on the Z fighters. Not only were Trunks and Goku suffering a beating from one of the Cell JRs, but Vegeta had the worst defeat of them all. Just as he unleashed his final flash on one of them, the Cell Jr. deflects the attack with ease. Cell, at least, lost one of his limbs, but his tiny creation was able to flick Vegeta's attack like it was an ant. But he was able to distract Cell long enough for Gohan to unleash maximum power to kill Cell. Number 4, eliminated from the Tournament of Power. During an encounter with his student, Kaba, Vegeta made a promise that he would use the Super Dragon Balls to bring the 6th universe back to existence. Vegeta gives everything to beat Jiren, however he couldn't beat him. He lent the rest of his power to Goku and eliminates from the Tournament of Power one of the most emotional moment of the Prince of all Saiyan. Seeing Vegeta's body break, even though his will to fight remained unbroken, really was emotional for a lot of fans. Beaten and humiliated, Vegeta had been eliminated by Jiren. He did give his remaining energy to Goku, but the damage was already done. Vegeta wasn't able to keep his promise and had to let his arch-rival finish off Jiren. Number 5, not killing Frieza in Super. There is no keeping a good villain down. When Frieza is resurrected from the dead in Dragon Ball Super, he sets his sights on getting revenge on Goku. However, he underestimates the training Goku and Vegeta have gone through and finds out the hard way that the two have achieved Super Saiyan Blue. After falling out of his golden Frieza state and realizing that there was no way for him to defeat Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, Frieza utilized Earth Breaker technique to destroy the Earth, killing Vegeta and everyone else on Earth, except those who were around Whis during the attack. Just prior to using the attack, Frieza, alluding to his time in Hell, made clear that everyone but himself could go there. However, this was able to rewind time to the moment just before Frieza uses the technique, allowing Goku to finish him off first. Orange Guy steps in again. That's it for today's video. All of this was my personal opinion. If you don't like it, that's fine, and if you want us to cover anything else, comment below and subscribe us for more.